Hello and welcome to Sunday League Football, where today we got our second and final local derby of the season. The first local derby was against Jyllinge. That was an away match, but today we're playing at home and we are playing against Gunsemale. And following last week's result where we drew against Slangerup, we are only sitting 1 point ahead of Frederiksværk and Dalby on second and third place. So as all local derbies are, it's a pretty important game to win, but also it is very important if you want to stay at the top of the table to get a win from today's match of games, because it is more than just fighting for a spot in the table when you play a local derby. Anything can happen in those matches. But here's the lineup for the day. Kim in the net, Bue Larsen, Lasse and Hal in the defense, Roar Wolenskifter in the midfield, myself, Stefan and Hattie on the top, and the substitutes are Willum, Nick and Jäkel. And I finally returned sort of to full fitness, starting out on the wing, and sort of recovered enough to sort of go into the full sprints and not be worried about sort of getting re-injured. Anyways, for the day we made a bit of a special event as it was a local derby and wanted to invite a bunch of people to one of our matches. So we made a tifo, we had some smoke, and a lot of people showed up around 150 people made it to the game and watched it throughout the day, which was an awesome feeling for everyone on the pitch and around the team, of course, to have a bunch of people showing up and watching the game. And in the occasion of the day, we actually backtracked sort of all our matches all the way back to 2014 to get the statistics and see how many matches and all that kind of stuff people sort of have played for the team. And in the occasion of the day, we actually had a couple of players surpassing 50 matches, and we decided to sort of celebrate them as there was a lot of people showing up for today's match. So we got Hattie, Stefan, Skifter, Larsen and Roar all having played 50 or more matches for the team since we started the club back up in 2014. And many of these guys probably played even more matches because the team did exist several years back, but we're only counting from when we started the team back up in 2014. So everybody shakes hands here and get ready for the kickoff. Huddle up and everybody getting in the zone from both teams, of course. And kickoff is Gunsemale to start it off, and it's us with the first chance of the game off a free kick, but easily saved by the goalkeeper, and he starts the counter-attack right away for Gunsemale. He plays it over our back line, and it's the Gunsemale player who's able to get to it. A good pass over our defenders into number 11, but luckily you could not put it into the back of net. But we got warned, and just 2 minutes later, it's Gunsemale on through yet again, and this time around they do not mess about, and we go down 1-0 only 6 minutes in. So the worst possible start to the game. Gunsemale started pretty well with the long balls. We were not ready in the defense, but we started getting back into the game. And here in the 20th minute, Stefan with a good run, he actually nutmegs the defender, gets taken down from behind, and the referee ends up showing the Gunsemale player the yellow card. And as it is, a yellow card means 10 minutes off the pitch, and a 10 minutes where we have a one-man advantage. And just a couple minutes later, it's us to take advantage of that, and Stefan makes it 1-1 in the 26th minute and gets us back into the game. And we also pull off a bit of a team celebration there on the day. Just a bit of fun. And yeah, very, very good run from Bue in behind the Gunsemale defender. He sends it into the box, and in the end, we get pretty lucky because he goes through the legs on the final Gunsemale defender, and then in the end it was the easiest of jobs for Stefan to put it into the back of the net as he was completely open at the back post. And here's the team celebration again. Not perfectly executed. There's a couple of players who didn't make it all the way up to be a part of it, but it sort of worked. Anyways, following that goal, we had the belief, and just 5 minutes later, it's me on the ball. I take it to the back line, send it into Jäkel, who scores to make it 2-1 for us. Jäkel's first goal in the league, and a very, very nice header it was as well to get it around the keeper and the defenders in the box there, and complete 5 very good minutes for us from being down 1-0 to being up 2-1. And following that, Gunsemale was pushing a bit more forward. Here's a long ball, so just launch forward. It falls to the striker, and he's able to get a shot in, but it is over the goal. And just a couple of minutes later, Gunsemale yet again on the ball. It deflects all around, and in the end they get a shot in, but luckily it is not on target. And it stays us to get another chance off the corner, and it's actually Larsen to put it into the back of the net. He doesn't score that often, but from corners, he's probably our biggest threat, and he makes it 3-1 for us, and he sends it right in to the top corner where the GoPro is sitting, almost hitting it. And yeah, he scores to make it 3-1 and give us a 2-goal lead. And following that, something weird happened. I'm not too sure why, but I think it might be this hand movement from Stefan. At least he gets a yellow card from this, and he's sent off the pitch for 10 minutes. Not too sure why that was a yellow card, but it basically meant that the remaining minutes of the half, we play with a one-man disadvantage, and it will continue a couple minutes into the second half. But despite that, the first half, it started off pretty bad. We ended it off pretty well, getting 3 goals. And as we start the second half, we actually continue playing pretty well despite having that one-man disadvantage. Here's me and Vol linking up together. Vol, he sends it into the box to Jägel, but he's unlucky not to get on the end of that. Could have gotten his second goal there. Very, very close at getting to the ball. And we continue the good play. Here's me making a run. Skifter with a lovely pass to me. Stefan runs in behind the defenders. I play to him. He takes the shot first time, but not on target there. And a couple minutes later, it is Vol to get back on the ball yet again. He starts off by trying off a long shot. Doesn't really work, but he's quick to pick the ball back up and run around all the defenders, make his way into the box, take the shot. It is blocked. He gets another shot in. It is saved, and in the end, it actually falls to me. I tried to shoot it for the far corner, but I hit the crossbar, and I'm still sort of hunting my first goal in the league. And we had a lot of chances here in the first 15 minutes of the half. Crossbar hit yet again, but no goal. And as you know, football, when you don't score on your chances, your opponents will always come back to haunt you. And here's Gonzalo to pick the ball up from our right back, Nick, and it is sent into the back of the net in the end, and they make it 3-2. And following that, the momentum of the game completely changed. We sort of gave the hope. Gonzalo basically got the hope back, and they started pushing more and more forward, creating more and more chances, and we didn't play too well at all. And this was the first real hot spring day, and everybody could definitely feel it. Everybody was getting tired, and here the marking, no marking at all. And how Gonzalo doesn't score here, I do not know. We should definitely have conceded that one, but instead it remains at 3-2, and Gonzalo are still piling on pressure to try and get that 3-3 equalizer, and we're just looking to try and get the ball away. And in the end, this one is actually given offside. I am not too sure if it was or not. Didn't have the drone up at this stage, but one of the Gonzalo players were not too happy. He got booked a yellow card, and it's actually his second yellow card, so he got sent off with a red card in the end, but it didn't really matter because at this stage the game was pretty much over. And thus the celebrations would begin with a 3-2 victory in the local derby against Gonzalo. It was definitely not pretty towards the end of the game in this match. Had we gotten the 4-1 goal, it'd probably been a bit of a different story, because when Gonzalo got that second goal, we struggled a lot. But we got the win in the end, and the man of the match was Larsen. Who scored his first goal of the season. It's not too often Larsen scores, so therefore he got a bunch of votes. And assist-wise, we finally got a couple of players up on 2 assists, myself and Skifter. And goals-wise, Stefan here took the lead on the top scorer list with his goal in today's match. And elsewhere on this match day, Jyllinge lost to VTF. Jægerspris beat Melby Liselej. Frederiksværk got another win, beating Osmanlispor. Then we got OAE beating Ølsted, and Dalby beating Slangerup, who we played last week. So therefore, when we're playing next week, we are playing against Dalby, sitting second in the table. So we got a very, very tough game ahead of us, and hopefully we'll be able to beat them so we remain at the top of the table. But for now, this is going to be the end of this chapter of Sunday League Football.